Good day, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me for today's Yin Yoga sequence. Today's sequence is going to be based on sciatic. So if anybody suffers from non-acute sciatic nerve irritation, then this really is going to be a great sequence for you. It's going to allow you to tap into the innate wisdom of the body, allowing yourself to stretch into places that will alleviate some of this stress on the sciatic nerve. So the sciatic nerve is a nerve that runs from the back body through the hips and all the way down the legs. Now often there can be some irritation into some of the glute muscles or the muscles in the butt, in the lower back, that can cause irritation into the sciatic nerve. Today's sequence is going to be all about how to alleviate that. So for today's sequence, you're going to need a brick, yoga block, or a thick book, whatever you have handy. And you're also going to need a strap. So either you've got a yoga strap, or you can grab hold of a belt off your gown, or anything long, a scarf that can serve as a strap. I'll allow you now to get hold of your mat and pause this. Once you've got all your tools, you can come and meet me on the mat. Let's bring hands together now into heart center, into Anjali Mudra, allowing yourself to tune inward and allowing yourself a few deep breaths here, feeling into your body, allowing yourself to tune in to all that is around, taking another deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, press the thumbs a little more firmly into the heart center. Just taking a moment to connect inward to your heart center, noticing how you have arrived on your mat today. Noticing any sensations in your body, any pockets of stiffness, becoming aware of the space around you and the space that you're in. Taking another deep inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, dropping your palms down towards your knees, allowing yourself to sit a little bit taller. Pressing your sit bones down into the ground as you lengthen up through the base of the spine and up all the way out through the crown. So creating a clear channel for the movement of energy and the flow of prana from your root chakra all the way up through the crown. Allowing your shoulders to drift away from your ears. Beginning to connect to your breath, deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself to take a moment with your breath, to take this moment to turn inward. Let the busyness of the day just drift aside. Be present with whatever's coming up for you emotionally, physically, mentally. Just take note and then let it go. Don't label anything as good or bad. Just allow yourself to be in presence. The greatest gift you can give to yourself is wherever you are, be all there. Be present. Taking a last few deep breaths here. And then as you exhale, slowly joining your palms together to touch once more. Begin to rub your palms, generating some warmth. We're going to take a round of palming, warming the palms and then drawing the hands over the eye sockets, allowing the warmth from the palms to radiate in to the eye sockets. And then when you're ready, slowly fluttering the eyes open into the darkness and gently moving the hands aside, letting the light of the day in. We're going to practice a pranayama first before we start our yin sequence, and we're going to practice the pranayama of humming bee or Brahmari breath. So for this pranayama, we're going to take 10 rounds. You're going to inhale through your mouth, and then with the thumbs blocking the ears and the forefingers resting over the temple, you're going to hum your exhale. So inhaling through the nose, and then long humming sound as you exhale. So I find a really nice way to do this pranayama is to be seated on the floor and bring your knees up, feet planted onto the floor, taking your elbows onto your knees, and then you have a little platform to rest the elbows on. You're going to block the ears and you're going to cover the fingers. You can even block or close one of the eye lobes with the pinky fingers, so also signaling for the body to go into a state of rest and digest here. Now, Brahmari Pranayama is an excellent pranayama for allowing you to de-stress. If you've been experiencing a bit of anxiety, or you feel like you're scattered and torn all over the place, this is a very good pranayama to allow us to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, allow us to shut down all those open browser tabs and really become back centered into a grounding and relaxed state. So we're going to practice 10 rounds together. So you can join me seated like this, or you can remain in easy seat and you can just have the elbows resting alongside the body. So 10 rounds, allowing yourself to take a deep inhale, blocking the ears. When you've completed your 10 rounds, allowing yourself a few moments back in easy seat, just observing sensations within your body. Perhaps noticing a calmness, noticing a shift, and just allowing yourself to be present with whatever is there for you. And then when you're ready, slowly going to come back into the space. Take your palms down onto the knees and just begin to rub the palms up and down alongside the thighs, just giving yourself a little bit of warmth. And then we're going to move into the first of our yin postures, which is Sphinx Pose. So coming onto the belly, we're going to take 3 minutes in each one of these poses. So allowing yourself to drop down onto the belly, bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders, extending the hands forward. You can take the feet here to the edges of your mat. Allow yourself to feel into this very first one of our yin poses, and we are going to be here for 3 minutes. So allow yourself to get comfortable, gazing down between the hands. And throughout the practice today, just turn your awareness to the breath, allowing yourself to be fully focused on your breathing, noticing your inhalation and your exhalation, allowing your body to be able to melt into each of the poses, so no force. And just meeting yourself wherever you arrive into each one of the poses today. Once you've settled into the pose, just notice whatever is presented for you as you work to the 3 principles of Yin Yoga, which are to find an appropriate edge and then to hold the posture in stillness. Are you able to drop anchor now into the stillness and allow yourself to fully experience each of the poses? With the eyes closed, turning your gaze inward, allowing for a moment of self-reflection. Yin is a very meditative practice, and the practice of Yin is an opportunity to deep dive within and discover what is lying there. We are going to transition out of Sphinx Pose into the next posture, which is Seal. So a bit of a more intense version of this posture. So if in any way you feel like this is not right for you, you can just remain in Sphinx for a further 3 minutes. If you're transitioning into Seal, you can step your hands out to the outer edges of your mat and press the palms into the mat as you lengthen up through the spine a little more. And then once more, finding that place where you can go into stillness. Taking a deep inhale and a big sigh out on your exhale as you once more turn inward. Softening the buttocks, allowing a softness within the body and the face, the neck, the shoulders, the target area here into the lower back. Breathing deeply into the chest cavity. If at any point this posture becomes too much, you can lower the elbows and transition back into Sphinx Pose. Again, continuously monitoring sensations in your own body and seeing what your range is here today. Taking a last 15 seconds in the posture, making any last adjustment to support yourself into releasing a bit further. And then slowly dropping the elbows, sending the elbows out to the edges of your mat. Gently dropping your forehead onto your hands, and just for a moment breathing up and down the spine, bringing full attention into the area of the lower back that may be feeling a little bit tight now. So really sending a big breath right into that space. And then we're slowly going to transition from our Sphinx and Seal pose, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes. We're going to take a gentle press back as though we're going into child. So taking a counter pose, very slowly allowing the buttocks to drift down towards the heels, allowing the forehead to soften down to the ground. Taking a few breaths here into the back body. On your next exhale, you can slowly bring your hands underneath your shoulders as you begin to press the ground away from you, allowing yourself to come back up into seated. We're going to come onto the back body for our next posture, which is supported bridge. So we're going to get into this posture from a lying position, so taking the arms up overhead for a big stretch. Stretching fingers and toes away from one another. And then as you exhale, you're gently going to step the feet in towards the buttocks. And we're going to begin to raise up the hips, bringing your block underneath the sacrum. So if you have a block or a cushion or whatever you're using, just make sure that you're placing it not in the lower back, but below the lower back area, and that you're feeling very supported and comfortable. So a block has a few different heights. We've got level 1, level 2 and level 3. So I would generally go with a level 1 or a level 2. Level 3 really could be quite intense. So bringing and shifting the block underneath your back body, finding that spot, again, not in the lower back but beneath, so around the sacroiliac joint. And then allowing yourself to settle here, making sure you maintain your gaze up towards the ceiling, and then slowly, if it feels appropriate for you, again, I've got my block on level 1, it could be on level 2 if that is appropriate for you, and then you can extend the arms up and over and the legs down to the bottom of the mat. Then allow yourself to settle here, softening into the pose, taking a few deep breaths. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to experience fascia within your body. So that tightening that you feel over the front layer of your body is the deep front line of fascia, which is basically the cling film that holds our body together. So Yin Yoga is all about stretching the fascia and into ligaments and the connective tissues. So we're really bypassing the muscles here by completely relaxing into each pose. Using the breath to breathe deeply into the belly. So feeling the rise and the fall of your belly. Being very aware of the sensations within your body. Moving into the last 15 seconds of this stretch. Seeing if you can soften anywhere else. And then when you're ready, you can slowly begin to lower your arms down towards your sides, beginning to step your feet back in towards the buttocks. Just take a moment there as you begin to connect the soles of the feet back into the ground and begin to press up. So slowly removing your block and allowing yourself to roll down one vertebra at a time, replacing the whole back body back into the ground, and then taking the knees very gently in towards the chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side, just decompressing into that lower back if you're feeling any tension there. And then bringing the hands to the backs of the thighs as you gently rock up into seated. We're about to get into our next posture, which is a reclining leg stretch. So for this, you're going to need your strap. Allow yourself to grab hold of strap and then gently place back body back onto the floor, stretching the legs down to the bottom of the mat. Let's begin with the left side. So we have a few options here. We're going to take the strap and draw it around the ball of the foot. So not the middle, but all the way up into the ball. And then we're going to send the leg up and stretch into the strap. So really pressing the foot into the strap. Now you have a few different options. If this is feeling too much for you, you can bend into the right leg and place the right foot onto the floor, bending into the knee. So again, if you feel that you have a little bit more range, you can send that right leg out to the bottom of the mat and then just allow yourself to hold here. So we're just taking a simple stretch here, stretching all the way into the back of the hamstring, allowing for a lovely opening through that hamstring muscle, and hopefully getting into the connective tissues and ligaments as well. So allowing yourself another 2 minutes here, taking a deep breath and a deep exhale. Just holding on to both sides of your strap and perhaps allowing your elbows to rest. Softening through the right toe. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose. Once more, bringing full focus and awareness to the breath. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. Perhaps taking a sigh, shifting energy through your body. And then slowly bending through the knee, removing the strap and sending your leg all the way back down to the bottom of your mat. Draw your arms up overhead for a big stretch. And then let's move into the other side. So now moving into the right side leg. So bringing your strap to come over the ball of your foot. And then again, you have the option to bend the knee and place the left foot onto the floor if that feels more appropriate to you. But if you feel you have the range, you can extend the leg out to the bottom of the mat. And then once more, we take in 3 minutes here. So really pressing the foot up into the strap and allowing that lovely stretch through the hamstring. Relaxing through the left toe. Allowing yourself some deep breaths here. Once more, reminding yourself of the 3 principles of Yin Yoga, which are to find an appropriate edge and then hold the posture in stillness. Just really feeling into the body and what you are allowing and where you are stretching, where the benefits are felt within this pose. Being so mindful of that. Perhaps even thinking about the sciatic nerve, its origin, and any places where it could feel stuck or agitated, and how these stretches will assist in relieving that. Moving into the last 30 seconds here, adjusting in any way. And then you can slowly bend through the knee, gently remove the strap. Send the feet down to the bottom of your mat, taking a deep stretch, arms up overhead. And then hugging the knees into the chest once more, hopefully feeling some relief through the body, maybe feeling a difference already. Bringing the hands to the backs of the thighs, tucking the chin into the chest as you gently roll up. We're coming over and into Sleeping Swan. So you're going to come into a tabletop position, taking your time to align yourself in tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes and gently press up into a downward facing dog. Just for a moment, we're staying here before we bring the left knee in towards the left wrist. So drawing left knee to left wrist, allowing the leg to come across the mat as you gently begin to lower down into the posture. So for Sleeping Swan Pose, if you are not able to work on the alignment here of keeping the hips square, then you can take a block and just gently prop it underneath your hip so that you're ending up with this lovely square sensation through the hips. And then once you're there, you can allow yourself a gentle breath in and then folding forward onto the forearms. Taking a few moments here. This may be as far as you go. And if it is, then just allow your forehead to drop down onto your forefingers. If you're able to fold down even further, you're going to send your arms forward and drop your forehead down onto the floor. Take a deep breath. And a big sigh out on your exhale, allowing yourself to sink down here. Allowing the whole body to melt into the position. Breathing deeply in and out through the nose and softening. Wherever you are in this posture, allow yourself to drop anchor and turn inward. Taking a last 30 seconds here. And then slowly beginning to transition out, perhaps coming back onto the forearms if you were flat down. Taking a moment there, beginning to press the palms into the ground, tucking your back toe and just gently nudging that back knee in before you begin to raise yourself up into a downward facing dog. So taking a moment in downward facing dog, paddling out the heels, feeling into the difference now from one side to the other as you gently bring your right knee in towards your right wrist. So knee against wrist, your leg sliding across the mat. Again, if you're having any knee issues here, you can draw the heel further into the groin. So once you have found that alignment, you can gently settle back. Again, you have the option to place the block underneath the hip to ensure that you're keeping the hips lovely and square, and then pressing up and opening up the chest and slowly folding forward onto the forearms, taking a few moments there before we settle into Sleeping Swan. Just allowing the body to open up naturally. Allowing for sinking and opening. Notice sensations in the body. Seeing if you can melt and soften and surface. Moving your hands back onto the mat, tucking the back toe, nudging that back knee forward, stepping yourself back into a downward facing dog, paddling the heels here a couple of times, and then dropping the knees onto the floor and slowly Coming back onto the back body for the final of our stretches today, which is a reclined figure of 4. So coming onto the back body, take a deep stretch, arms up overhead. Draw the feet down to the bottom of the mat. And then as you exhale, you can step the feet back in towards the buttocks. We're going to start on the left side, taking the left ankle over the right knee. So sending the knee away, you can gaze up to thread your hands through, interlacing your fingers over the shin or the thigh, whatever works best for you. And then as you exhale, slowly sinking your head back down into the ground, making sure you pin your chin into the chest, or at least slightly tuck it in so you maintain some length through the back of the neck. You can relax the feet here, allow yourself to soften into the posture. Take a deep inhale, sigh out on your exhale. Allow yourself to settle here. Once more, bringing awareness into the target area of your left hip, left thigh, left glute. Just noticing what sensations are present there for you. Making sure the shoulders are relaxed, the chest is relaxed, the jaw is unclenched. Allowing for a softness within your body. Taking a few more deep breaths here as we move into the last 30 seconds of the stretch. And then you can slowly release, sending the leg all the way back down to the bottom of the mat, drawing the arms up overhead, taking a big stretch, stretching right into the body. Let's go over to the other side. So stepping feet back in towards buttocks, right ankle now draws over the left knee, sending the right knee away, gazing and then threading the hands through, interlacing fingers. And once more, allowing the head to settle back onto the floor, relaxing the feet, relaxing into the posture, taking a big inhale and a big sigh out on your exhale as you once more drop the anchor into that space of inner stillness. Just tapping in, noticing whether or not you've managed to dive into a space of stillness. As we move into the last 30 seconds of the stretch, again with awareness into the target area of the outer hip, of the glute. And then you can slowly come out of the posture. Once more, drawing the arms up overhead, taking a deep stretch, hugging the knees into the chest for a last little decompression through the spine. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come into Savasana. So corpse pose or final relaxation, taking the hands out beside you and allowing yourself to completely melt down into the ground. So just giving yourself a few moments here. And if you'd like to stay in a longer Shavasana, you can also just pause the video and allow yourself to take at least 5 minutes here. And then once you're done, you're going to meet me back up on the mat. So we're slowly going to wriggle the toes, bringing movement into the feet, bringing movement into the hands, gently rolling over onto the side body, and then finally back up into easy seat. And meeting me once more on your mat. Let's take a moment just to close our practice. So having worked into the sciatic, for anyone suffering or experiencing sciatic, you should feel really great after this practice, with the hope that it didn't aggravate things further. It focused a lot on the lower back and the glutes, and in general just loosening up all of the areas where you could potentially be trapping the sciatic nerve. So allow yourself to end the practice with me by joining your palms together to touch. Begin to rub your palms together, generating some warmth, and then drawing that warmth into the heart center. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, bow your nose down to the tips of your fingers. Taking a moment to acknowledge yourself, for you are whole and complete. Namaste. Wishing you a truly beautiful day further.